Woods, woods, and more woods. This pretty much describes this sample right here. Sometimes you just can't go wrong with a heavy wallop of cedar. Let's see what Kerosene can deliver with us on next Taking a Test Drive. Fragrance family, welcome to Taking a Test Drive. This is where I test drive a scent prior to purchasing it through a little sample here or forgetting about the scents. I wear them from 1 to 2 wearings, so depending on the sample size, and let you know my thoughts. Today, as the title suggests, I'm taking a test drive on the house of Kerosene and his fragrance called Canfield Cedar. So a cedar-based fragrance. Big fan of woody-based scents. Let's see what Kerosene can do. Now let's look under the hood for some stats on this one. Release date was 2015. Concentrations eau de parfum. The nose behind this one is John Peg. And the major notes to my nose on this particular fragrance, it's in the name, cedar. We also have some sandalwood as a secondary note and some pepper. My day with Canfield Cedar. Let's try to get some juice out of this thing. Oh, here we go. Oh, geez, we're getting some. We're getting quite a bit actually out of this sample here. So a little bit for you guys. So my day with Canfield Cedar, and let's remind me of this introduction. Starting this fragrance off, it smells exactly what it says on the bottle. We're getting some heavy cedar here, very woody as a scent. That is going to be your prominent theme here. It's dry and it smells mostly of cedar. Now you're going to have a little bit of black pepper here to string you along in this ride almost immediately, giving the woods another facet. This is not the first time that pepper and woods work well together. They always have. It also has almost like a balsamic quality to the finish to the scent, almost like smelling like some sort of finish on top of a hardwood flooring. That may also be a small pinch of citrus, but I don't feel any real citrus. It just feels like more of a finish, maybe more of a balsamic quality than really a citrus. I felt some sandalwood in this fragrance and some musky backbone to the main theme, but honestly not much more. Cedar is your theme here. Now within the dry down, now looking more into what it does on my skin when it develops, the scent moves a little bit, maybe a couple decimal points. It's one of the more linear scents that I have encountered. However, if you like that dry lumberyard cedar theme with a little pinch of black pepper, you should probably be a happy camper smelling like this. Tobacco is listed in the notes, and I felt more green nuances here and more than really anything else than tobacco. As a whole, it kind of reminds me, you know what this reminds me of? It really reminds me of the red cedar in a sauna. In my childhood, one of my homes did have, or one of my parents' homes had a sauna, and it just reminds me of that smell. This is what this reminds me of, is that red cedar wood. So that's my imagery for all of you out there for this fragrance. It's pretty much straightforward. It's done well, but there's not much going on this one. Personally, I think you should have at least one woody scent in your collection. This could be it, Canfield Cedar. Now let's get into the revolver where I talk about performance, versatility, day or night, and seasons. Let's start off with seasons. This one screams winter and fall for me. You could also pull this off in the spring. I didn't feel like this fragrance, again, it's off a small sample, but I never felt like this fragrance was huge. And a lot of cedar-based scents, and I'm thinking on top of my head, you know, like a Gucci Put On 2 or Comme des Garçons, no, Gucci Put On 1, and Comme des Garçons 2, Man 2. Those fragrances that are heavy on the woods, they really aren't performers, and I felt like this one, same thing. I'd love to wear more of this right in the smack dab in the middle of our Canadian winters and just see how it goes. I'm wearing it right now at the start of our spring, and it worked well in spring. As far as day or night, this fragrance feels like more of a nighttime scent. I don't think I'd be wearing this during the day. Versatility, I'd say medium to high. I can see this as somebody's signature, especially an older gentleman that's looking for a woody scent. I can see this as almost your signature. Performance-wise, I kind of touched upon this. The longevity was surprisingly low at 4 to 6 hours on my skin, and the projection was fairly low too. So not really a performer, this one. So my final thoughts on Canfield Cedar is, first and foremost, I heard through the grapevine that this may be discontinued, but I still see it on Kerosene's website. At point of shooting this video, I didn't take the time to actually reach out to John and see if this was actually discontinued, but it's on his site. So my assumption is it's still available. For this particular scent, there's not much buzz on this fragrance. I don't think there's actually one YouTube video on this. So here it is. Not much of a story here. This is straightforward woods. There's not much complexity. It's well done. There's some good transitions here from start to finish. It really doesn't move much, so that helps it. If you're looking for a cedar-based scent, this may be the one to test out. It should be in the list of several that you'd want to test out for cedar-based scents. A lot of cedar-based scents aren't very popular, or not really. They're not really top sellers, especially if they're really thin in regards to compositions. There's not much going on. It's just a cedar-based scent, and a lot of them just don't have that much push. If I had to give this one a score today, as of this review, let's talk about that. I'm gonna give this one a solid 7 out of 10 as far as pricing goes and what it's going up against. A lot of these cedar-based scents, and I'm just thinking about on top of my head, very singular ones Gucci put on. Obviously harder to find, and Comme des Garçons 2, which is around this price range. So depending, again, those have more complexity or less complexity depending on who you talk to. I think this one's more of a stripped down. Doesn't really have that incense that those guys would have. More just plain cedar. This kind of reminds me of a Tumult, really a designer fragrance in a purple bottle that got discontinued a long time ago. It smelled like a lumberyard. This is more like a sauna, but close to that imagery. So there you have it, my thoughts on Canfield Cedar by the House of Kerosene. I'd love to hear your take on this particular set. If you have smelt it, please put it down in the comments below. If you loved it, hated it, the good, bad, and the ugly, I'd love to hear your take on this one. If you haven't enjoyed this content, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and that bell is waiting to be rung. Are you part of my notification gang yet? If you haven't already checked me out, I am on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and on Facebook. You can utilize my YouTube name, Robes08, and you'll find this ugly mug. I also have a Facebook group called Fragrance Guru Nation. We are up to 15,500 members that discuss fragrances, new releases, fragrance reviewers, all that good stuff. Join us today. I also have links down below in the description if you don't feel like searching it up. As always, a great or poor fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your cedar-based fragrance wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one.